So, what do you think, Al? I mean, the GOP field of candidates got a couple of senators in there, a very high-profile mayor. That's got to be, you would think, a pretty rich field.
Well, in spite of the job that George Bush has done, I really kept an open mind about both the Republican and Democratic candidates. I really want the right man on the job. For all my life, I've been a registered independent because I wanted to vote my conscience. Only recently did I register as a Democrat because I want to vote in the Democratic caucus that's coming up in Nevada. But I still look at both parties independently. But I'll tell you what, the GOP candidates scare me to death. In this last presidential debate, all but McCain thought that torture was a good thing, that the U.S. military should engage in torture. I mean, what the hell kind of attitude is that? And then you got McCain, who says it's safe to walk down the streets of Baghdad. Then you have Mitt Romney, and they ask him about terrorists, and he says something like, oh yeah, we got to worry about those terrorists. We got Al Qaeda and Hamas and Hezbollah and the Shiites and the Sunnis, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like they're all the ones that attacked us in 9/11. That's one of the principal problems with George Bush, is that he's lumped all these different Muslim groups together and portrayed it as if we're fighting all of them, when Al Qaeda was just a small band of people. That's who we should have gone after.
Well, that is the frightening thing. I got to tell you, as far as McCain, you mentioned McCain. McCain is the one guy that I thought I could vote for when he first ran against Bush. I thought he would be a pretty reasonable alternative, and he seemed like a strong guy that was in the right place at the right time. And this was pre 9/11. But I got to tell you, he's got a position on Yucca Mountain. That's where they want to send 70,000 metric tons of spent plutonium to the Nevada test site. And you got to think, here's a guy that is always telling us what's right, what's wrong about terrorism, how to handle the problem, that he's the expert on national security. He wants to take 70,000 metric tons of plutonium and drive it across the nation's highways. I think we'll find out pretty quickly whether or not terrorists have devised a way to blow up loads of plutonium and kill off an American city. Pre 9/11, Yucca Mountain was a pretty stupid idea. Post 9/11, you got to be a complete imbecile. You got to be praying for a terrorist attack in order even to put that out there for the terrorists.
It's a stupid move. There's no doubt about it. We cannot be transporting that kind of material over our roadways and make it easy for a terrorist attack. Another GOP candidate that's got a lot of attention, of course, is Rudy Giuliani. He's the man who stood up for New York, after the terrorist attack. But I mean, he did a lot of stupid things before 9/11. I mean, he put the Center to Combat Terrorism in the World Trade Center, a place that had already been attacked. But the worst statement that he's made was just a few weeks ago, in April of '07, when he said that the Democrats don't understand the nature of the threat facing this country. Only the Republicans understand that. So that's why you have to vote for a Republican. Well, that is the dumbest ass statement I have ever heard anybody make. Is if I switch parties from Democrat to Republican, then all of a sudden I'm smarter and I understand this, and then I'll understand the threat of 9/11, as if Democrats didn't witness the 9/11 attack. I mean, we're all in this together. Everybody knows the threat that's facing us. So the question is, what's the best approach to that? But that's sort of partisan politics, and making those kinds of demeaning statements, the same kind of statement that George Bush made back the 06 election, I think just disqualifies him from even being a serious candidate.
And then you have to take the next step, and that is that only the Democrats actually tried to kill Osama bin Laden prior to 9/11. Remember, they blew up the factory, and Clinton went after him in the middle of the night, and they said, oh, this is just the tail wagging the dog. They're trying to pull our attention away from Monica Lewinsky. As soon as Bush got into office, he stopped all attempts on Osama bin Laden's life. So there's who the protectors are. There's the lack of protection.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we're going to have to elect a Democrat at this stage. It doesn't look like we have any choice. Maybe there'll be a good Republican next time around, but I don't see one now.